I love a good tower defense game. Add some unique twists and a darker vibe, and I am all in. That's exactly what Gnomes delivers. Tower defense combined with some roguelike elements, unpredictable gameplay, and a subtle, sinister edge. The demo is available on Steam now and is what you'll see me playing in this video, but don't be fooled by its simple look. With a surprising amount of challenge and content here, you can easily burn a couple of hours before you realize it. The objective is simple. Use gnomes to defend your garden shed from the goblins attempting to invade it. Between rounds, you'll reposition, plant crops, and build structures to gather resources or fortify your garden. And if you're lucky, have enough gold to get something nice out of the randomized shop. Units, crops, relics, the usual. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? But Gnomes has a few clever twists that set it apart from your typical tower defense game. For starters, after every round, the map will randomly expand further into goblin territory. Combined with the maps themselves being randomly generated, this means the battlefield is always changing, for better or for worse. And what begins as a small patch of land can become pretty large as the days go on. You might uncover new sections of fertile ground necessary for crops to be planted, or face the consequences of the goblin engineers you didn't eliminate fast enough. The engineers put roads down, blocking your units from being placed and speeding up the enemies that walk on them. And even though they're tough to deal with, they're far from the worst, but I'll get to that in a second. Another unpredictable factor is the goblins' pathing. As the map expands, their spawns and routes to your garden shed are always changing, keeping you on edge and reshuffling your defenses every round. You can move and place your gnomes to see how the goblin's path will change and adjust accordingly, with an undo feature that I think is great, allowing for experimentation and not locking you in if you make a mistake.
I'm such an idiot.
As for the goblins themselves, there's the expected types, small and fast, big and tanky, flying, and some unexpected with the different biomes I'll show later seeming to have some specific enemy types. The previously mentioned engineers, for example, or my least favorite, sappers that explode on death and can destroy your units, houses, or crops, potentially crippling you for a round or more. This ties right into another strategic piece of gnomes that is very important, the economy. Planting crops will be your main source of gold with a surprising variety to choose from, some that spread automatically, some deal damage, and some buff your units. There's even a gardener faction of gnomes you can unlock that has a starting setup centered solely around piercing damage plants. Finding the right balance of planting crops, generating gold, and having enough gnomes to defend can be tricky, and you'll also want to keep some gold on hand in case a new unit or relic comes up in the store that can really help you. But the thing here is, your crops are not safe from harm. If the goblins path over them, they will trample and destroy them, making positioning and defense even more important to keep that from happening and the gold coming in. You'll do this by first selecting your guild of gnomes, and even in the demo there's 8 to unlock, with a variety of playstyles, strengths and weaknesses, and synergies. Each one has a starting kit with a crop, damage dealer, relic, and building. Now some of them are definitely better in certain biomes. The lumberjacks fit well in the forest, for example, and there is a total of 3 unique biomes to choose from, with more than double that coming in the full game. Each gnome type has a specific attack range and pattern that you can see. Low damage archers that can hit pretty much anywhere in a straight line, wizards that can blow up an entire area, or flail gnomes that hit in a square with a chance to stun. And whichever you choose to start with, you can buy the others when they come up in the store. The amount of variety here and the constantly changing landscape makes every time you play gnomes feel different. In addition, the full game will be adding in an endless mode for those who like to survive as long as they can. For now though, you can check out the feature complete demo on Steam and try to defeat the Goblin King yourself. The link is in the description, but if you're looking for more indie strategy games, then click through the video on screen now.